I've always thought of teaching as the scientific method in motion. A lot of students will come in and think they're supposed to look at a problem and immediately know the answer. And very few people in the whole world can do that. They're strange, a little bit. You have to break it down into steps, and you work the first step and you figure it out. You observe it, you figure out what the problem is, you come up with a plan, you work the plan. Does it answer the question? If it does, great, that step's done, go to the next one. If we can instill that idea that learning is a series of small steps, then people realize that they can grow their confidence, that they can learn anything if they just break it down into small steps, get little bits of success, a little bit more success, a little bit more success, and pretty soon they will have an excellent way of learning anything. I've always gathered inspiration from everywhere, but I think the main inspirations in my life have been my parents. My mom, Doris Berry, was a fifth grade teacher for a lot of years, and my dad, Jim Berry, had a business. He was a welder, had a business, and one of the things that I always enjoyed is anytime we went anywhere, he always was looking around. He'd see something, I can make that. And he'd figure it out, and he'd measure, and it's that idea of always looking around to see what's next and what you can do, and being confident that you can do it. My favorite pastime is all over the place because I like learning new things. Right now I'm into, I do crochet and tatting and woodworking. Last year it was watercolor and things like that. So I always kind of keep my eyes open and see what interests me, and I've dabbled in a little bit of everything, and I'm kind of interested to see what's next. I think if I teach in math and chemistry, math and science right now. It's related, but I think I would probably be interested in teaching coding. I took my very first computer coding class in 1982, and it was basic. And through the years, I've continued to take different classes. I'm not that great at it, but it's just amazing that you can control so many things from a keyboard, and you can make things happen, and it's kind of amazing. Without a doubt, 70s rock. Carole King, the Doobie Brothers, the great bands of the 70s, that's the music that's worth listening to. The favorite movie is difficult for me because I don't watch that much TV or movies. So you might have to look this one up, but my favorite movie is probably McClintock. It's an old John Wayne comedy movie. Yeah, I like the old movies. The last book that I finished was Attack from Within by Barbara McQuaid. It's a look at how we as a society are experiencing a lot of misinformation and disinformation right now. I say that's the last one I finished because I usually have like 2 or 3 books going at once. So I've got a couple books that I'm in the middle of right now, but that's the last one that I finished. I have kind of a split answer on this one because I have been to Italy a couple of times, and I would absolutely go back. But before I do that, I want to travel inside the United States. I have been very few places in the United States. I would love to go see the Grand Canyon. I would just like to, get in a vehicle and drive the United States for about 3 months and see everything I could see. The best advice I've ever gotten, paraphrased, is don't worry about things so much. Things tend to happen the way they're supposed to happen, and if it's horrible, it'll pass. If it's great, it'll pass. Just keep plugging on. One of the things that a few people know about me is I've got a touch of synesthesia, which is my wiring on my senses are crossed just a little bit, and I taste colors. So whenever I eat a new food, I'll taste a color to it. And the perfect food is pineapple, because the color that I taste is exactly the color of pineapple. There have been times where I've eaten something, for example, I was in Germany and we were at this beer hall and I ate something, and I promise you it was the exact same color as Big Lake, and I couldn't eat anything for about 2 days after that. So the color has to match the food.